Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us.
Well, when you think of canines, you typically think of German Shepherds. But did you know your dog could be a search and rescue dog?
That's right. A local nonprofit right here on the Suncoast says if the dog can learn, they can do it. Now, if you have a dog, make sure to grab them because this is sure to be a story you both will enjoy. These four-legged investigators of our future are trained in our own backyard. Peace River Canine Search and Rescue Unit is a group of dogs and their owners who train to find missing people and human remains.
They double as pets and then they work as working dogs on the sideline. It doesn't matter the size of the dog or the breed of the dog, it just matters whether the dog wants to work.
So essentially these dogs are living a double life.
Yeah, they do. And the minute they see the blue shirt come out, they're at the back door waiting to go.
They do know when it's time to work, and they all get very serious about their jobs and they handle it extremely well.
President of Peace River Canines, Mike Hadsell, and his dog Nixie are joining other handlers and their dogs for their weekly training session near Myakka Forest.
They're incredible hunters. And if you think about the dog's natural instincts, the dog's natural instinct is to hunt. Whether it's a person that's wandered away because of Alzheimer's or autism, or whether it's a person that's deceased, and you're asking the dog to go out in some of this scrub like you see here, and that humans can't really get into in a rapid way, and find the remains of the human.
So we put these canines to the test. First up, German Shepherd Callie, sent to sniff out and find a cadaver bone buried in a large field. After given the cue to go, she takes off.
Sorry about the shriek.
The reward, a game of tug of war. And in order to get it, she must signal her handler with what's called a laying and nose push. For Callie, it didn't take long.
She happens to want to work constantly. She gets up at 6 o'clock every morning and says it's time to work. So it's kind of my job to make sure that she's constantly entertained. But she does have an off switch and she does have a very sweet personality.
Next up, a Cocker Spaniel named Morgan, tasked with a tracking and trailing test looking for any human odor. This time, I played the role of the missing person.
So what you're doing right now, you don't even realize it, you're laying scent.
Now it's on. Morgan picks up a scent, that scent gets stronger. He shifts direction to hone in, and that super sniffer finds me. You found me! Now Nixie, a seasoned veteran of Peace River Canines. She's been trained to find any person in an area up to 160 acres. The goal is to see me go back to her handler and then bring him back. Let's see if she can find me.
Particularly for autistic patients and dementia people, they're oftentimes scared.
Okay.
And they'll hide from the searchers.
Oh, there she is.
She did her job, so now they get to play. A job well done by all of these dogs, but it's not always easy.
There's a lot of pressure when you show up on a search scene. You got law enforcement, they got all kinds of people that are there putting pressure on you, and they got to learn to deal with all that as well as do their job, which is what they're trained to do.
Peace River Canines is a nonprofit absorbing all the costs of getting these dogs ready.
When we fix a cost to a search dog, at the end of the training of the handler and the search dog, we valued it somewhere around $12,000.
They provide answers and they're a resource that you otherwise might not have. The dogs have a very specific ability that humans don't have, and they can get into places that humans may not necessarily be able to get into, and they can provide information that otherwise we would not be able to find out.
Scott, recently those Peace River canines were put to the test when they had to help in the search and rescue for missing teen Jabez Spann, who has been missing since September.
Yeah, unfortunately still remains missing.
Right.
Well, if you want to head over to our website at mysuncoast.com, we have information on how you can get involved with a nonprofit, plus some simple tips to see if your dog would make a good search and rescue canine.
That's right, and there's also a behind-the-scenes video of me training my dog to learn some of those techniques used to become part of the Peace River Canine team, and let me tell you, I was actually pretty surprised with what she was able to accomplish.
Yeah?
She found me hiding behind a tree, and I was actually very surprised with the way she responded.
Maybe there's a future there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's 7 years old too, and they said, you know, even dogs that might be a little bit older, their nose still works pretty well.
Better than ours, that's
Right.
for sure. Great story. Thank you so much. Let's get a check now on our weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. more on a beautiful day on the Suncoast.
Yeah, good story right there. We're looking at our Mia, my little dog Mia, see if she can be a rescue dog. She can get in really small places. She's a small dog. Van Wezel webcam showing generally fair skies across the bay right there, looking from the Van Wezel webcam. Beautiful sunset tonight. Again, we'll light up with some clouds in the upper levels nearby. 70 degrees right now. That's the current temperature. It is pleasant. And winds are out of the north at 7 and the pressure at 30-15. And that's holding steady right now, but still high pressure dominating our weather. You can see some of those higher clouds moving from the west to the east. And now it's kind of shifted to the north of us, but we still have some around here. And the cold front continues to march in our direction. Not to worry, though, this cold front is not all that strong. It will continue to move off to the southeast, and behind it, some very cold Arctic air has moved into the upper Mississippi Valley. We'll talk more about that. And also into the northern plain states. Right now, nothing cold about these temperatures through this evening. 58 degrees by 11 o'clock. And just a few clouds. We'll have a sneak peek at the weekend weather coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. It's been a busy year already for firefighters who battle wildfires throughout the area. Fire officials say we haven't seen this many wildfires this early in many years. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us live from the Florida Forest Service in Bradenton with more on the story tonight. Rick?
Yes, Scott, good evening. It has been very active with these wildfires. I'm joined by Patrick Mahoney. He is with Florida Forest Services. And Patrick, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And first off, just talk a little bit about how busy it's been with these wildfires.
So far since the first of the year, we've had about 22 fires for about right around 55 acres. Fortunately, they've been small. But the last time we've had this number of fires was 2013. And we've already got one going right now, and so we're looking at it's going to be somewhat like it was last year.
Yeah, right before we came on, you just got an alert for a fire in Northport.
There's a small fire in Northport. Our crews are responding with Northport Fire.
And why is it? What's going on here? What's causing all these wildfires?
Basically, some of our fires that we've had so far have been illegal burns, children, transportation, and things are just dry. We got received a lot of rain a couple weeks ago, but for the most part it's been just really dry, and so it's just not taking much right now.
And what's the most important thing folks out there can do to avoid starting these wildfires or becoming a victim of a wildfire?
If you've got a warming fire or campfire, make sure it's out. We had a couple fires from a campfire, so before you leave, make sure it's completely out. And be careful where you park. As we dry out, be careful with any open flame. If you are out four-wheeling or mowing, make sure that there's a spark arrestor on your muffler, with a chainsaw or whatever. And just use common sense things to be able to prevent this. And now's the time to get your homes ready for that most active part of our season.
Okay, Patrick, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And that's Patrick Mahoney. He is with Florida Forest Service. A lot going on out there, and you just heard about that wildfire happening right as we speak in Northport. We'll have a lot more on this coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. In the meantime, reporting live from Bradenton this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick. After 15 years leading Northport Fire and Rescue and 45 years in the fire service, Northport Fire Department Chief William Bill Taff has officially retired. The city holding a retirement ceremony today in his honor. Taff says the move comes so that he can spend more time with his family and let a new generation step forward. During his time as chief, Taff says the department has rapidly expanded, building up 4 stations and growing the staff from 45 to 105 people.
They are primed and ready to take it to the next level as the city continues to grow. The Atlanta Braves are coming here. Many other things are happening. So I'm very excited for the future of this organization.
Taff says the biggest challenges the next fire chief will face will be Northport's rapid growth and a growing lack of paramedics across the country.
A regatta planned for September in Venice is already getting some pushback on social media. The Sarasota Scullers Youth Rowing Regatta will be held Saturday, September 15th. Some boaters, though, are unhappy the event will close off a portion of the Intracoastal Waterway for nearly a full day. Some on social media said the event should be held at Nathan Benderson Park and not in Venice, but others were happy to have that event and the economic benefits it might bring with it.
I think anything to do is you can celebrate and bring in people and bring in some revenue to the area is fantastic.
The boat ramp at the Venice train depot is also slated to be closed during that regatta. So to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a suspect charged in the death of a woman in 2011 is back in court today. We'll take a look at the testimony from his psychologist.
Plus, why detectives say they have ruled out a natural or accidental cause of death after a woman was found dead inside a Longboat Key club sauna. So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes, B, console her,
don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
An update now in a Sarasota County murder. The man charged in the 2011 death of a woman back in court today. 54-year-old William Case is charged with homicide and the death of Karen Courts. Detectives say they linked Case to the murder through DNA and a shoe impression found at the scene. Case's attorney had previously requested a mistrial, saying his client is incompetent. Today, a judge finding Case is still incompetent to stand trial.
I believe that he has chronic paranoid schizophrenia, which is what I thought that he had when I saw him over 5 years. I'm not sure how many years ago, but in 2012, that's what I thought was wrong with him.
I do find that the defendant, William Case, is presently incompetent to proceed.
Case's psychologist, Dr. Mary Elizabeth Casper, says she's concerned about his well-being should he be placed in a different environment. He's now being held at the Sarasota County Jail without bail.
Longboat Key police are investigating a possible homicide after a woman was found dead inside a sauna at the Longboat Key Club moorings. Inside this poolside clubhouse is where a 54-year-old Sarasota woman was found dead. The doors remain chained shut tonight as police still work to determine how she died.
Police say they have ruled out a natural or accidental cause of death, and with obvious signs of trauma, Chief Peter Cummings says that leaves homicide or suicide as the last possibilities. The initial autopsy results came back inconclusive. The medical examiner has sent away DNA and other evidence for lab work.
We are putting all available resources on this and investigating every possibility, interviewing any potential witnesses, and again, with the evidence out at the lab, we're waiting for results of that too. So we're working this pretty much around the clock.
The victim's name still a mystery. Police not willing to release that information until they can rule out that it was not a suicide.
Stay with us. Bob Harrigan is up next with your First Alert weather forecast and peek ahead to the upcoming weekend.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Carmina Burana in Motion. Carl Orff's choral masterpiece, Carmina Burana, bursts into life in this lavish production designed for 60 voices, 3 celebrated soloists, a 2-piano percussion ensemble, and dynamic premiere choreography performed by members of Sarasota Contemporary Dance. Do not miss this lush feast of the senses. Saturday, February 3rd, 4 p.m. at Church of the Palms in Sarasota. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 941-387-4900.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking an experienced broadcast engineer to provide technical support for all broadcast equipment. TV broadcast background required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
I hope everybody got to go outside and spend a little bit of time enjoying this weather.
Right, and
nice.
if you didn't, you'll have a chance tomorrow too. Again, and it looks like maybe a few more clouds around tomorrow, but not bad at all. Let's get a look at a nice photo that was sent in to pics at mysuncoast.com. This is Barb Wilson from Venice getting these high cirrus clouds. We had some ospreys earlier, and if you want to see the ospreys, go to mysuncoast.com/osprey, and you can check them out too live. Just for a little bit longer here because it's going to get dark here soon. So here's a look at the Van Wezel webcam. We'll show you the beautiful conditions throughout this afternoon. You can see the sun glimmering off the rather calm bay. And here's a live shot now from our tower cam showing the sun indeed has set, and it is spectacular once again. Well, as far as we're concerned, the satellite information and radar, no rain around. We have these high, thin cirrus clouds again streaming from the basically west to the east, a little bit more north now. It was right over the top of us. We do have a cold front coming down. You can see some of the tail end of those clouds, and this will have a little impact on our weather, already bringing some snow to southern portions of Ohio and into Indiana today. That cold front stretching all the way down. Not a low pressure. Low pressure is over here, but we have a low pressure up here as well. Not quite as big, but there is a low pressure bringing some snow there, basically to Kentucky, southern Ohio near Cincinnati, and places to the west there in southern Indiana. Current conditions, we have clear skies here, 70, nice comfortable degrees, and north winds at 7. Pressure 30-15, that is high, that continues to hold steady. High today was nice, 75 out there. This morning's low was pretty comfortable at 49, pretty close to average. Mid-60s because of that water temperature, winds blowing in from the west-northwest, keeping things a bit cooler there, but Rosedale at 69 degrees. And as far as the future trend goes, the forecast of the European model suggesting that that front comes through relatively unnoticed. We'll see increase in clouds, but no rainfall. I really anticipated the rain chance at 10%. That'll be about it if we saw any rainfall. Saturday, a mixture of sun and clouds around. We will see another storm system, rather fast-acting upper-level low moving through the northern Gulf of Mexico, and a little bit of a surface reflection. Nothing like we saw last Sunday. It will be, this will be moving through rather quickly. There's not as much energy with it, not enough moisture to work with than we saw last week. Now, there will be some showers. According to the European, we start to see some of that action entering in just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, this has been trending later and later as of late, and you'll see the GFS in a minute, but the rain sticks around through Sunday evening. But most people will be inside watching the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl will be played right here. And guess what? The temperature is 6 degrees there right now. That cold air dropping southward, Kansas City at 25, 24 in St. Louis. The high tomorrow, just the high, 15, and that may actually be warmer than the high temperature on Sunday as a result of that cold Arctic air spilling southward. Now, it's not going to get all the way down here. It will get close, but won't get all the way down here. 32 in Washington, Boston at 33. Here's the long-range trend. You'll see that it drops down, but it doesn't get down to Georgia. It gets down to Tennessee and Kentucky and continues to bounce off to the east for the most part. So winter is definitely going to continue here over the Great Lakes and the Northeast, and will Punxsutawney Phil see a shadow? It's unlikely. A 90% chance for clouds there tomorrow morning, and that means an early spring. But looking at that last long-range model, it doesn't appear that's going to be the case for the next week or so. North winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be right around 2 feet with a light chop on the bays and inland waters for boaters. Looks good over the weekend, too. Well, we have a Groundhog Day tomorrow, but we also have Music on Main. Music on Main, we are expecting pretty nice weather for Music on Main. We'll see Lakewood Ranch right at 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock, 66 degrees, falling into the low 60s by the time it's over at 9 o'clock. Lisa Ridings will be performing with partly cloudy skies. And then Sunday, taking a look at the GFS model, we'll see that real quickly here. That is suggesting rain coming a little bit later in the day on Sunday, again pushing on through basically after Sunday, say 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, the temperatures remaining warm here all across this area, even with the front coming through. 70s, mid-70s right through Thursday. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. The investigation into the deaths of 12 patients who died of heat exposure at a Florida nursing home is now intensifying. On Wednesday, emergency responders testifying at an administrative hearing as the nursing home challenges the state's move to revoke its license. A paramedic and 2 colleagues from Hollywood Fire Rescue say they responded to the rehabilitation center at Hollywood Hills 4 times on September 12th and 13th, and that the home felt warmer and the home's 150 patients in worse shape each visit. Stay with us, more to come here on ABC 7. We'll be right back.
First out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
We are problem solvers striving for answers. Relevancy on every platform. We are driven to create content that's compelling, engaging, where it matters. We are neighbors that care about solutions, believers in making a difference, leaders, innovating in an exciting era of multimedia, reaching to always be the gold standard in our evolving landscape. We are Raycom Media. Find your opportunity today.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. We're in the mood for love with the Giggles Adult Novelty Store. Plus, we preview the play Love Letters, and our beauty expert is back to help us look great. Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
As the countdown to game day continues, Super Bowl tickets prices are soaring.
StubHub, the internet ticket broker, announcing that despite the New England Patriots being in the Super Bowl seemingly every year, and the fact that the temperature outside of the big game is expected to be single digits, this year's Super Bowl is on track to be the most expensive in history.
The cheapest ticket price available on StubHub right now is going for around $3,200 to get into the door. The most expensive ticket price that we've sold so far was for $22,000.
The spokesperson for StubHub says people from 18 different countries have purchased tickets to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Nothing can beat the seat right there in front of the big TV watching right there. That's right.
Thanks for joining us.
World News Tonight with David Mears coming up next.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC 7 wherever you are. On our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC 7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC 7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.